Hello everyone, welcome to the video. I am Princess Malaygjha A. Palaguyan and today I will be talking about the Kurdish language. So let us start with the question, who speaks Kurdish language? Kurdish language is being spoken by the Kurdish people, or Kurds, an ethnic group who do not have their own independent country. Most of them lives in the Kurdistan region, which consists of southeast Turkey, northeast Syria, northern Iraq, northwest Iran, as well as some other isolated area in the former Soviet Union. Kurdish is a member of the Indo-Iranian branch of the Indo-European language family. Kurdish belongs to the northwestern sub-branch. Now, let us get into it. So what is Kurdish language? Is it one unified language that all Kurds can speak and understand? No, not really. It's a collection of related dialects spread out across the continuum, meaning that the language changes over the geographic distance. One of the reasons this happens is because of the separation of people due to the dividing of the Kurdish land. Kurdish in general is divided into three dialect groups, known as Northern Kurdish or Kurmanji, Central Kurdish or Surani, and Southern Kurdish. Today, I will only be talking about the two main dialects, which are Kurmanji and Surani. Kurmanji is the most widely spoken with approximately of 8.1 to 20 million native speakers. It is spoken by the Kurds living in the area of Turkey, Syria, northern Iraq, northwest Iran, and northeast Iran. Kurmanji is written in Hawar alphabet, a derivation of Latin script, having 31 letters consisting of 23 consonants and 8 vowels. Kurmanji nouns are all either masculine and feminine, with 4 noun cases, which are nominative, oblique, construct, and vocative. Case ending depends on number and gender. It has something called ergativity, and the word order is SOV. Now let us get into the consonant and vowel sounds. It will be played in the following video.
B, B, baran. J, J, jodkar. Ch, Ch, chav. D, D, du. F, F, fanos. G, G, G. H, H, hasp. J, J, jin. K, K, küçük. L, L, leg. M, mal. N, nan. Q, قهوه. R, roj. S, sev. Ş, şeker. T, tli. V, valiz. W, wene. X, khas. Y, yarmasi. Z, zebeş.
These are the vowels, the short vowels, and the long vowels.
A, av. E, aur. Ezing. O, oğlan. U, unce. Uti.
As I said a while ago, Kurmanji have 4 noun cases: nominative, oblique, construct, and vocative, and the ending depends on gender and number. It has something called ergativity and has preposition, postposition, and something called circumposition. Let's have a look at the noun and their cases first. Here's an example for the word man.
مرov, مرov, مرove, مروفكي, مروفو, مرov, مروفان, مروفن, مروفنن, مروفنو.
Now, here's an example using the word for woman.
جن, جني, جنا, جنك, جني, جن, جنان, جنن, جنن, جنو.
You may have noticed that the plural case endings are the same for both genders, because in Kurmanji, gender applies only to singular nouns, not to plural nouns. Okay, let's look at some example sentences in Kurmanji. Here we'll see that Kurmanji is generally SOV. This means, I see the men.
از مروفان دبینم.
So if we translate this sentence directly, it's like I, man, see. Ez equals I, mirov equals man. An is the oblique case marker and also the plural marker. And dibinim is see. So you can see that this sentence is SOV with the object coming in the middle position.
Kurdin.
This means we are Kurdish or we are Kurds. If we try to translate this sentence directly, it's like we Kurds are. M equals we, Kurd equals Kurd, in equals are. That's the present tense copula. Again, we can see that this is SOV. This sentence doesn't actually have an object, but it has something called a complement, which comes in the same position as the object. Now, why does the noun in the first sentence have an ending on it marked in yellow, but in the second sentence there isn't one? That's because nominative case has no ending in either singular or plural in Kurmanji, so we only know it's plural from the context. And here the context is that the subject is we, so we know it's plural. Kurmanji exhibits something called ergativity. In ergative languages, the subject of a verb sometimes functions as though it's the object of a sentence. In Kurmanji, this happens when the verb is in one of the past tenses. The agent, that is the doer of the action, is in the oblique case, like an object, and the patient, that is the receiver of the action, is in the nominative case, like a subject. The verb then takes an ending to agree with the patient.
من أو ديت.
We would translate this as I saw him, but it's more like by me he was seen. Literally, word for word, it's me he saw, but the verb ending confirms that he is actually the receiver of the action.
وي از ديتم.
This means he saw me, or by him I was seen. Word by word, it's him I saw, but again, the verb ending confirms that I is the receiver of the action. So here, im is the ending for the first person singular, and that matches the patient of the sentence, and that's I in this case. If we want to make that last sentence negative, we simply add a negative prefix to the verb.
وي از نديتم.
This means he didn't see me. This is an example of how Kurmanji uses lots of different affixes. Kurmanji has prepositions which come before noun phrases or pronouns, and postpositions which come after noun phrases or pronouns, but it also has circumpositions which wrap around the noun or pronoun, or the entire noun phrase. For example,
دبر دا.
this means in front of.
دبر مالا مدى دارك هيا.
This means there's a tree in front of our house. So if we try to read this sentence word by word, it's in front, house, our, of, tree, there is. Now, I don't know if of is the part that I should have separated, but the point there is that in front of is split into two pieces and surrounds the noun phrase.
Now, let's move into the Central Kurdish, or Surani. Surani is a Kurdish language or dialect that is spoken in Iraq, mainly to Iraqi Kurdistan, as well as the provinces of Kurdistan, Kermanshah, and West Azerbaijan in western Iraq. Surani Kurdish uses a script based on Arabic alphabet, but the Surani script have some letters that are not available in Arabic. It is written from right to left. Surani uses Arabic numbers, and they are exactly identical. And the letters may be written up to 4 different ways, depending on their position in the word. Letters can take different shapes depending on whether they are at the beginning, middle, or end of a word, or if they stand on their own. Surani has 9 phonemic vowels and 26 to 28 phonemic consonants. The alphabet sounds will be played in the following video.
A, I, B, P, T, J, T, H, H, D, R, R, Z, J, C, Ş, N, G, F, K, V, K, G, L, L, M, M, U, U, W, A, H, Y.
The following are the consonant chart of the Surani language.
Vowels. Kurdish language has 7 vowels, and the vowels are I, E, U, O, A.
Now we have the vowel chart. Here we have the word order. In Surani, the word order is SOV, or subject, object, and verb. In English, the word order is SVO. Here we have the example for both the Surani word order and the English word order. Min tom hushdoweth, which means I love you. Our subject is min, and the object is tom, which means you. In Surani, there's only to for you, but the M right there refers to min. You have to write it. You cannot just say min to hushdoweth. It's completely unnatural. Maybe people will understand it, but it's unnatural and grammatically incorrect. Though it can be changed depends on the person you talk to. And now we have hushdoweth as a verb, which means love. Once again, the word order of Surani is SOV. Min Tom Hushtuwe. Now let's talk about the subject pronoun. In Surani, they have singular and plural. In singular, there's min means I, ta means you, au means he, she, or it. In plural, there's ema, which means we, ewa means you, and awan means they. An example on how to use the plural will be played in the following video.
Plural. Most words are made plural by simply adding an at the end of the word. For example, piao, piawan, shakh, shakhan. But if a word ends with a, then you have to remove a and then add the an. For example, nama, naman, piala, pialan, froka, frokan. And if the word ends with a vowel, then add yan instead of an. For example, ala, alayan, komalga, komalgayan, mrawi, mrawiyan.
The extension video will talk more of Surani language, so please pay close attention.
Comparative and superlative. By simply adding tir at the end of an adjective, you can make it comparative. And by adding trin, you can make it superlative. For example, juan, juantir, juantirin. Gaura, gauratir, gauratrin. Bataman, batamantir, batamantirin. Definite article. For the words that end with a vowel, add ka. For example, ala, alaka. Herme, hermeka. Seara, searaka. But if a word ends with a consonant, then add aka. For example, kiteb, kitebaka. Piao, piawaka. When using plural words with definite article, the ka becomes kan, aka becomes akan. For example, Allah, alakan. Kiteb, kitebakan. Subject pronouns. These are the subject pronouns in Kurdish language. Min, to, au, ema, ewa, awan. Just like Persian and Turkish, when we use subject pronouns, we should also attach the personal ending for that pronoun. For example, min diktorim, to mamostai, au nakhosha. Possessive endings. These are the possessive endings in Kurdish language. For example, kitebakam, sayarakat, chakatakay, mamostakayan. Indefinite article. For the words that end with a vowel, add yek, and for the words that end with a consonant, add ek. For example, mrawi, mrawiyek, kiteb, kitebek. The letter Y acts as a buffer between the two vowels, since generally, in Kurdish language, two vowels shouldn't come together. To say I have something or I don't have something, we use haya, niya. For example, searam haya, searam niya. To use it is with a noun or adjective, we attach a or ya at the end of the word. For example, kiteba, masiya, garma, sarda, juana. Some more examples. Nanaka garma, shakhaka barza, kulaka juana. Verbs. In Kurdish language, verbs in infinitive state end with n or nawa. For example, kirdin, khwardin, shordin, frin. Khwardnawa, birdnawa, manawa, julanawa. Just like Persian language, there are two stems in Kurdish, the past stem and the present stem. The past stem is very easy to make. Simply remove the n at the end of the verb to make it past stem. But the present stem is a bit more difficult. Since it is difficult to predict the present stem and every verb might have a different stem, it is necessary to study the present stem for each verb separately. For the verbs that end with nawa, it's the same. Simply remove the letter n to get the past stem, and present stem also is different for each verb. Past tense. It is very easy to make a past tense in Kurdish language. First, get the past stem, then add the correct ending. For example, compound verbs. Compound verbs are very common in Kurdish language. They are made by combining a noun and a verb together. For example, to watch. Tamasha kirdin. Tamasha means look, kirdin means to do. To do looking or to watch. To make them into the past tense, after removing the n letter, add the personal suffix between the noun and the verb and not to the end of the verb. For example, present tense. Present tense is made by adding the plus present stem plus the personal ending. For example, dehenim, deheni, dehenet, dehenin, dehenin, dehenin. In some cities and areas, the da can become a. For example, dakam becomes akam, dakhom, akhom. Izafa is used whenever two nouns are attached together, or a noun and an adjective are attached together. For example, dargai khanwaka, kuri mamostaka. Or a noun and an adjective, khwardani khosh, khwinkari zirak. When using definite article with adjective, the e will change to a. For example, khwardna khoshaka, khwinkara zirakaka. Conjunction word and. A very useful conjunction word in Kurdish is the word u, meaning and. For example, mnu to, baranu bafir, lashsagu bakhtawar. Demonstrative. Demonstratives in Kurdish are made of two parts. For example, am kurra, aw gula. And for plural nouns, am kurana, aw gulana. Imperatives are made by taking the present stem and adding b in front of the present stem. For example, bro, bkho, bika. To make the negative imperative, simply change the b to ma. For example, marro, makho, maka.
Now before I end the video, here are some additional facts about Surani. First, Surani is one of the two official languages in Iraq, along with Arabic. Second, in Surani, if you introduce yourself and your name ends with a consonant, you have to add letter A in it, or sound A. And if your name ends with a vowel, you have to add the word ya. For example, I am Princess Malaygjha. My first name ends with a consonant and my second name ends with a vowel. So it becomes Prinsesa Malaygjha. Try it out with your name too. Now I hope everyone enjoyed and learned something from the video. Once again, this is Prinsesa Malaygjha signing off.